Hello bookworms, it's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a shout out video. I don't think I've actually done an official shout out video on my channel before, so it is long past time for me to do one of these. Today, the day that this video is going live, is my 4-year Booktube anniversary. I posted my very first Booktube video back on October 8th of 2015. These last 4 years have flown by, and as I've said in plenty of other videos, I wasn't super consistent with my posting the first couple of years that I was on Booktube, so I'm always a little bit hesitant to count them, but of course they count. And I fully recognize that I wouldn't be where I am today, channel growth-wise, if it wasn't for other shoutouts that I have received and collaborations that I've done. So today I want to give back and shout out some fellow creators. Because of the way the YouTube algorithm works, the first 50, the first 100, 500, the first 1,000 subscribers are always the hardest to get. And in the beginning, for a long time, I felt like I was just shouting into the void. In fact, I didn't reach my 1,000 subscriber mark until August 2018. So almost 3 years into doing Booktube. So today I'm going to shout out 10 channels that I actively watch and enjoy who have under 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about why I enjoy their channel, as well as give you an idea of what their reading tastes are like. I actually got some input on their reading tastes from most of these creators. I asked all of them to tell me how they would describe their reading taste. I mean, I could tell you what I think their reading taste is, but I didn't want to misrepresent what they thought their reading taste was. And I got some really interesting answers from some people, so I'm really glad that I did that. I didn't hear back from everybody, which, to be fair, I didn't say why I was asking this random question, because I was trying to keep the shout out video a surprise. I will definitely have all of these channels linked down in the description box, so please go check them out if their channel or their reading tastes sound like something you might be interested in. They are in no particular order. Actually, that's not true. They are in a particular order. They are in alphabetical order, just because that was the order YouTube showed me my subscriptions in. And that's what order I wrote them down. I definitely want to do more shout out videos in the future. There were a number of channels that I had in mind of wanting to shout out, only to find that they had more than 1,000 subscribers, and I really wanted to keep this video specifically to creators with under 1,000 subscribers. The first channel that I would like to mention is MacDonald. Something that makes this channel super unique is that it's an animated channel. The creator doesn't actually show his face. He has an animated character, and he does voiceovers and does really cool animation and effects in his videos. He also posts every day, which is not an easy thing to do. Another thing about AG is that he is really funny. He has a really sarcastic sense of humor and likes to kind of poke fun at Booktube sometimes, and I love it. When I asked AG to describe his reading taste, this is what he said. I'd say eclectic. I read all over the place. I guess my favorite genre is probably fantasy, which I might read a bit more than others. And as far as age category, he reads anything. That's definitely something you'll notice about a lot of these channels that I recommend, is that they read a little bit of everything, maybe a little more fantasy than others, and they read both YA and adult. Apparently, I have a specific taste when it comes to a lot of Booktube channels. Okay, moving on to my second recommendation, that is Angelica Rene. Angelica is probably the newest person that I've been subscribed to on this list, but I have really been enjoying her channel. She's just such a soft-spoken and sweet soul, and I really like her channel aesthetics. When I asked Angelica to describe her reading taste, she said, pretty easygoing. I honestly will read anything, but I gravitate towards fantasy, sci-fi, and historical fiction. But I'm always open to new things. And when it comes to age categories, she reads both adult and YA, but leans a little more towards YA. The next channel I want to recommend is going to be Bibliophiles. Again, Jenna at Bibliophiles is hilarious. She also has a very sarcastic sense of humor, and she is always making me laugh in her videos. She often has really strong opinions and is not scared to let it all out on camera. When I asked Jenna to describe her reading tastes, she said, I would say my reading tastes are character-focused stories about people who suffer but grow from it. Genre-wise, I gravitate towards sci-fi and fantasy. As far as age categories, she reads mostly YA and adult. Another more unique thing about Jenna's channel, at least compared to some of the other channels I'm going to mention, is that she also reads graphic novels and mangas. If you haven't been able to tell from my channel so far, I don't really read graphic novels or mangas, but her channel is a great place to get recommendations for those. Another thing I see on Jenna's channel that I don't see on a lot of other Booktube channels is that she reads a lot of Star Wars books. So if you like Star Wars books, that's another reason to check her out. The next channel I want to recommend is Leah Cooper. Leah is sort of an author tuber, I think, but she primarily posts book content on her channel. She does hauls, wrap-ups, reviews, all of the normal booktube stuff. She reads speculative fiction, and I've really gotten quite a few sci-fi recommendations from her channel. I didn't hear back from her about how to describe her reading taste in her own words, which I don't blame her. She doesn't really know me, and I was some random person popping into her DMs asking about her reading taste. But from my experience, she reads mostly adult sci-fi, and I always find her reviews really thoughtful. The next person on my list is Kayla from On the Fritz. Kayla is a booktuber that I've been watching for a while, I feel like. She did take a bit of a break recently. She's a busy mom, but she's been trying to get back into the swing of thing and has been posting videos lately. I was so excited to see her back in my subscription feed. Again, I think she's really funny, very down to earth, and I really appreciate her opinions on books. I asked Kayla to describe her reading taste, and she said that she likes to read horror, science fiction, paranormal romance, and comics. As far as age categories, she mostly reads adult, but also reads some YA and middle grade. The next person on my list is Karen from Rather Be Reading. Again, Karen is someone that I've been following for a really long time. She's an Australian booktuber, and a couple things that I love about her channel are that she reads a lot, and she also reads really widely. She reads so widely that I wasn't really sure how I was going to describe her reading taste, so I was really glad that she got back to me when I asked her. Her first response was, "Oh gosh, varied, eclectic," which was reassuring to me that I was having a hard time pegging her reading taste if she also was gonna have a hard time pegging it. She said that her favorite genre are mystery thrillers, but she definitely reads lots of other things. I've seen her read contemporaries, historical fictions, fantasies, romance, paranormal romance. I've seen her read like everything. When it comes to age categories, she says that she prefers adult, but she's equally happy to read YA. Another thing that I really enjoy about Karen's channel is that it always just feels like I'm sitting down to have a chat with my friend about books. She's very casual, her cats pop in and out of her videos, and I think it's hilarious. And I just love the cozy feeling I have when I watch her videos. The next person on my list is Pow from Superpowpow. Pow is another one that's a little bit newer to me out of this list, but I've really been enjoying her content and her taste in books. When I asked her to describe her reading taste, she said that she usually tells people anything but horror, which made me laugh. I asked her to pick her favorite genres, and she said nonfiction travel narratives, which is not something I think I knew about her reading taste, but also fantasy, humorous sci-fi, and fluffy romances. She also reads from all age categories. Again, she has a channel that makes me laugh. She has a quieter sense of humor that I think is kind of similar to my sense of humor. Because I would say that I'm not like laugh out loud funny, but I find myself giggling at my videos all the time when I'm editing. My next recommendation is Shannon from That's So Poe. I've mentioned Shannon's channel before, and full disclosure here, she is my cousin, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I really enjoy her content. Shannon has a very calming presence on her channel. She does weekly wrap-ups where she talks about all of the books that she read in a week, and I always find her reviews so thoughtful. She always dissects what she's been reading in a really interesting way. She also does like themed TBRs each month, often based around like social justice issues or different minority groups that are being celebrated, like Black History Month, or in November I know she's focusing on books written by and about Native Americans. When I asked her to describe her reading taste, she said she mainly reads fantasy and science fiction, with some classics, poetry, graphic works, and nonfiction, especially biographies or nonfiction about social justice. So like I said, very eclectic reading taste. As far as age category, she mainly reads adult and sometimes middle grade, and I don't think I've seen her read any YA, but I'm sure she would be open to it if the right opportunity came up. The next booktuber I want to recommend is another one that I've been watching for a really long time, and that is Leah from the Book Finch. Leah is actually a booktuber who lives in Finland, and she's another person that I find gives really thoughtful reviews. I mean, that could be said for all of the channels that I mentioned. I really gravitate towards channels that put a lot of thought into how they talk about books. When I asked Leah to describe her reading taste, she gave me a really interesting answer, one that I wouldn't have been able to come up with on my own. She said that she likes introspective, character-focused books, that handle difficult topics we'd rather ignore in real life, especially when those topics are discussed through a fantastical setting. When she sent that message, I was impressed because that is spot on. She also said she tries to be as omnivorous with books as she can. As far as a specific genre and age category, she says she reads mostly adult fantasy. Alright, that brings me to the last booktuber I'm going to be recommending today, and my list would not be complete without this person. I, of course, have to recommend Roya from Unicorn Hunter Books. Roya is my lovely friend that did the Wad Along or Wheel of Time read along with me. We spent 14 glorious months reading and discussing the Wheel of Time books. There's a few things that I enjoy about Roya's channel. One of them is that she reads a lot. She is currently going through a bit of a dry spell or a reading slump, but I'm sure she'll make her way out of that soon. I've always found the amount she reads to be really impressive. When I asked her to describe her reading taste, she said that she reads mostly fantasy, but also anything diverse. And as far as age category, it's a mix of adult and YA. I've seen Roya read from a lot of different genres, spanning from fantasy and science fiction to contemporary. She's also Persian, and I've seen her specifically seek out books by Persian authors or about Persian main characters. Another thing that I really appreciate about Roya's channel is while she does read a good amount of new releases, she also reads a lot of older books that I haven't heard of. And I'm always finding really good fantasy recommendations from her channel, especially by women authors. Alright guys, those are 10 booktubers who are currently under 1,000 subscribers that I recommend you check out if their channel or their reading tastes sound up your alley at all. They're all people that I've been watching for over 6 months, if not a lot longer than that, and I think they deserve so many more subscribers. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like bookish content. That is all I have for now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye. The first channel that I would like to make and likes to kind of poke phone and likes to kind of puck. Okay, moving on to my second and I've found and I've gotten multiple and I really gravitate. Bye.